I have two new guests. And today, as you guys know, we have another exciting topic. I have here with me Yemi. Say hello, Yemi. And then I have Courtney as well. So we're going to talk about successful women who are entrepreneurs and have their business. As you guys know, one of the biggest things with Prissy Missy Couch session is that we try to not only support Black businesses, but we also try to promote it as well. So this is a great opportunity, and then we're also going to talk about successful and then also trying to date and find someone who's on your level. Okay, y'all? So, Yemi, tell us more about you. Introduce yourself. I know you don't be nervous, girl. They're like, yeah.
Okay. My name is Yemi. I am the owner of Lux Life Aesthetics, where I provide quality skincare services. Whether you want to glaze donuts, whether you want flawless skin, that is my mission. I started my business in the summer of 2020. I went to esthetician school at Chicosi University of Beauty and Culture, and it's been up ever since. So I'm approaching year 3, and it's been just me, one man band.
We love it.
And I've serviced over 1,000 people from then until now. I'm fortunate and blessed enough to have a consistent clientele of people that I see every day. I really prioritize my clients, and my business is my baby, and I love what I do. I have passion for it. It's everything to me, and I'm looking forward to crushing more of my goals in the new year.
Yes, we love it, Queen. We love it. And Courtney, can you introduce yourself and your business as well?
Hi, my name is Courtney, and I am a personal branding specialist. I was a serial entrepreneur, so I've basically done things in every lane. I've done lashes, skincare.
Oh wow. I can
hair
tell, girl,
a
that
little
skin
bit.
is airbrushed, girl. You don't need no face to it.
Single life skin. Yeah, I've pretty much done everything, and the reason I've been able to do everything is because I've been able to maintain a personal brand, and when you have a personal brand, you're able to basically carry your audience with you everywhere you go. And I think a lot of people forget about that. I know a lot of women are like so obsessed with their career and so like hardworking that they forget who they are.
Yeah.
So it's just like if they move to another lane, it'll be like those people are not going to follow them. They'll basically have to create a whole new everything because they have no identity outside of what they do.
Right.
So I just like basically teach women how to become an individual again, whether it's an individual outside of being a mom, an individual outside of being a business owner, an employee, just anything, and basically like I said, get into the nitty gritty of who you are and start shining that person out, so that if you do want to stop doing what you're doing, you're still somebody. If you want to do something else, you're still worth being somebody. Like, you don't just have to be that person. Like, you're not just a mom. Like, you're not just this person. You're not just that person. So like, I teach basically the importance of being an individual and being authentic, so that, like I said, you can flourish in any area that you want to flourish in.
I love that.
Before, like, talent is played out. Like, talent stopped being a factor when they would stop doing American Idol. You know?
Yeah.
Talent, no matter, like, that's why everybody's like, oh, what does this person do? Like, why are they this? Why they're literally themselves, and they're really good at being themselves, and they put a lot of emphasis on being themselves. They like fashion. They like being loud. They like being ghetto. They like being this.
Yeah.
And it's really important to be relatable when you scrolling on the app all day and you're an individual and you need somebody to look up to and stuff like that. So they really just killing at being themselves, and that's why they in position right now.
Yeah.
And to touch off that, I definitely agree. That's why in the beginning when I started my business, I was solely my business. No one, it was not even a picture of me on my business Instagram. Nobody even knew I was this color.
Yeah.
Outside of people who knew me.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? Instead of just trying to sell a service, you're in a stage of life where everything is content based. People want to see who you are, not just what you do. So I had to, pivot a little bit. Like, okay, I am a real person. I do the same things you do. I like to go out. This is a sneak peek into a day in my life, what I do day to day, and that sells more than just what you provide, what you're selling. You could go to any store and buy a product. You could go to any European wax center and get a wax, any facial skincare spa downtown and get a facial service. So it's more so, why should people come to me? What should they want to come to me for? So I rather push it that way, because then at that point you're not just coming to me because you know me.
Right.
You're coming to me because this is someone I would rather give my money to. She seems relatable. She seems cool. She has a good personality. Let me go see. And that's part of how I've been able to retain such a significant and consistent clientele, because my clients aren't just my clients. Like, I look at them like my people. Like, your service is not just a service, it's an experience. It's something that you're going to look forward to coming to every single month.
That is such a fact.
And I value that more than any dollar. Like, in all things in life, you have to have a passion for it. You can't just be like, I'm going to jump off the porch and do this because this person doing it, that person doing it. It look like they making a lot of money, because it's not always going to happen like that.
And a lot of people think that they'll, like, you know, it looks so easy. Like, people forget, like, you know, they always say social media is fake, right? Because, like, you could literally, like, make your life into something it's not. You create this life, but it's like you said, if you don't really want it for yourself, like, it's going to show through your work.
For sure. Yeah. Exactly. And, again, consistency is key. Like, no matter what my personal life is like, I don't let that reflect on my clients. Like, you're going to get the same me every single time. Like, I'm very, I don't know, I have this, like, naturally nurturing aura about me that I could see when I pay attention. So if you've been here last month you are trippy and excited, then today you come to me and you like not really talking. I'm asking what you got going on this weekend, you not really engaging. I can see like, okay, something wrong. So what's wrong? You okay? What you need? You want some wine? You want a shot? Like, what can I do to make this more a pleasant day for you? How can I turn your day around? And it go from there. We end up having a full therapy session for whether it's a 15-20 minute appointment to an hour and 30-minute appointment. Like, you have to make yourself appealing to the eye. You know?
Absolutely. I just love people that like cater to their clients. That's how I am too. Like, I'll notice like, oh, you know, like Bobby's not as, you know, he doesn't like to talk too much or laugh too much. He just like wants to get straight to the point, like ABCD. And there's some clients that, you know, they appreciate having someone to talk to. Go to school, get certified and licensed to be able to do what you're doing. Did you always like do skincare, or was it something that
I'm
you were interested in?
Completely transparent and completely honest. What like made me go into skincare?
Everybody on it today. Some people like, ooh, the money, but
I looked up and I didn't like my life. Like, I felt like I was just waking up every day. How old was I? I was like 26 or 27, and it was like my life was going nowhere fast. I'm like, okay, I'm just go to work every day. Like the life plan that I had in mind, the one like my mom had set up for me, it was not going like that. Like, I was supposed to go to nursing school.
You know, Africans love
African.
African, like, they love that.
And I kept trying, and it was just not working. And it wasn't like I wasn't smart. Like, I've always been smart. I've always done well in school, but I just was not focused. I was so distracted by shit that now I look up, it didn't matter. So to cut a long story short, like, I kept going to nursing school, kept trying. And I got to the fundamental part, and I saw what part of clinical was I on? I saw a shit bag and blood, and I almost fucking passed out. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
You weren't getting the Jeffrey Dahmer vibes?
I'm like, no, this is not for me. And like, I never finished college, and for a long time, I'm like, damn, like, I felt like I wasn't thriving. I felt like I wasn't on shit. Like, I really did feel like that. I'm like, well, everyone that's around me is doing so well. What is it that I'm not doing? And it was me. Sometimes it be your own self. It really be you.
You're in your own way,
you know? So I'm like, let me try something else. So I started like looking into esthetician school because a few of my friends were doing it. And I'm like, okay, we had similar paths. Like, we tried the college thing, it didn't work, or whatever. So I'm like, let me try something else. And since I've been a kid, since I've been growing up, like, I've always had okay skin. My skin's always been okay. Like, I was one of those kids that hit puberty really, really young.
Okay.
But it didn't reflect, like, in my skin. I didn't have, like, bad acne problems. So now, like, I'm like, how to maintain my skin.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, let me try something else and let me see, like, if it's gonna work for me. Like, let me try something else. Let me see if it's gonna work for me. Because, like, how do you know what will work for you if you don't try?
That's true. Yeah.
You know? So now, I was at, like, I want to say the lowest point of my life. Like I said, I was literally just waking up every day.
You're existing like, okay, the teacher on, gotta go to class.
Like, nothing. I wasn't doing shit. I don't even think I had a job. I wasn't even working.
Oh,
like,
you were like,
like, I can't even. I was bumming it just at my mama's house, just not doing shit. So I'm like, so now, and then around that time, like, I had this very arrogant attitude about myself. I was so arrogant. It was like, for what? You not on shit. What do you have? You have a regular job. You got a regular car. You still at home. Like, what are you being so arrogant about? But it was like, I didn't realize this till I didn't have shit. So I didn't have my job no more. So I didn't have any money. So at that point, like, I had to really, like, when you stripped of everything that you think is everything, you have no choice but to, like, surrender to God and be like, all right, you took it all. You took what I thought was something.
Let me get that rug real quick.
Like, I couldn't see straight. So I just, like, really just, like, leaned on him fully, like, okay, I know I done fucked up, but forgive me and show me the way. Show me what I'm supposed to be doing. So then, like, I started praying more. I was doing a lot of job applications, and then, like, at the time, me and my mom relationship was rocky. We was not getting along. She's a Capricorn, I'm a Libra. She just
not the Libras. You don't
like,
even have a lot of Libras on this show.
We was not getting along. So I'm like, I have to do something, and it's so much pressure coming from a foreign household.
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm like, okay, I didn't do what she wanted me to do, what she had planned for me to do, but I need to do something. And so then I just, like, prayed on it. My job, been to college. I went away to school. I did all that, and I just dropped out. It wasn't working for me. So at this point, again, I'm almost nearing the end of my 20s. I'm 26, 27. I think I'm 27. And I'm at the end of my financial aid. So I'm like, let me try this. Let me try esthetician school. Let me see if there's something I would like. And I really was interested because it didn't have nothing about math in it. I'm like, okay, it's not nothing I gotta look at a graph, a triangle.
Oh, yeah, say that again,
What's
girl.
that shit we never use in, like, Pythagorean theorem?
Oh, yeah, girl, I don't even know if I went through that.
Okay, let me try this. So then I went and I enrolled. Mind you, the program at the time was like $16,000, and I only had, like, not even $10,000 left of financial aid. Like, I had like 8,000 or something like that. So I enrolled. Mind you, I don't got no fucking job.
I ain't got no money, God. She was like, damn.
I had nothing but a prayer and a prayer.
Damn, okay.
And I'm like, I gotta see it through. Something's gonna shake for me. I'm a believer. Sometimes you just gotta believe.
That's true.
You have
faith. Oh, Lord.
So I just applied anyway. I started finding jobs or whatever. And I went to the school. They had a program starting at the end of February that year or whatever. And I just will never forget because I cried on my way to school and it's happened for me. So my tuition was about to be like $11.58. Mind you, again, no job, no money. I'm like, how the fuck am I about to pay for this? Mind you, it's not like I got a boyfriend at the time. I didn't have no nigga to put me through school.
Girl, you know they're not even working either.
Nothing.
They're on that weed.
But I'm like, I gotta see it through. I'm gonna start anyway. Something gonna shake for me. So I went through the whole financial aid process or whatever. I started school or whatever. And I'm like, it was this job I was supposed to start, but it conflicted with school hours, and it just like ended up not working out. So I ended up reaching out to the lady who helped me with my financial aid. I'm like, you know what, this is my situation. Could it be possible to get more aid or whatever? She's like, why did you wait so late? The school session has already started, but let me see what I could do. So she was like, okay, so you gotta email the head of the school and answer these questions, and then like maybe something will happen. So I'm getting discouraged, but I'm like, let me just try. Yeah. You have to try. Absolutely. I'm already here, so let me try. Yeah. So the questions was like, why do you wanna go to Tricosi? It was also, what do you think you can do that will like be impactful to Tricosi? How will getting more money help you going to this school? So I answered, I was honest, and then that was a Friday. So Monday come again, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I went to school anyway, right there. At this point, I made it through the first day. I got my kit and everything. I like this. So then I'm going on my way to school, and the lady called me. She's like, I got some good news for you. I'm like, okay, what happened? I think they was throwing me like $500 or something. I was like, damn, I gotta make a GoFundMe to go to school. I'm like, I forgot to rob Peter to pay off. So then she was like, I was able to get you an additional $4,100 to go to school or whatever. I cried.
Oh my God.
I was like, okay, so now everything started to make sense.
Yeah.
You know, so my tuition dropped down to like $11.58 to like $5 something. So I went anyway. So I started a new job in April.
Yes, you yeah. I'm like, but that's what people do in college. They'll be like, shit, financial aid ain't go through. Shit, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna apply.
I'm not get to the door, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So I started a job like a month after I started school, and everything started aligning. When I tell you, like, I had complete tunnel vision. Like, wow. I was so focused, so locked in on myself.
That's a testimony right now.
Yeah,
you going to church.
I was so focused and so locked in. Like, wasn't doing nothing but going to school, and nobody even knew what I was doing. Like, I was just, at that point, I was one of those people like, let me not share this part of my life just yet.
Yeah.
You know? Because in the midst of excitement, you want to share things, you want to share your journey. And at that point, I was in a space where I was questioning the people around me and their intentions for me. So I'm like, let me just leave this between me and God. Yeah. You know? So again, this during the pandemic. So we was only in school for a month till they shut us down. It had us on distant learning. So like, now I'm like, okay, fuck. How am I gonna like build my brand? How am I going to build my clientele? So I just made it work. I'm in school with people, they probably don't see this live, but I don't care because it's like so they would just like come to school and complain about shit. And it's like, I'm a very solution-based person. I don't like dwelling on shit and complaining. It's like, okay, this is the problem. How we gonna fix it? Right. It's always a solution to something. Always. It may be hard, it may be easy, but there's always a solution. Right. It's always a way. A way is going to be made. So I just decided to be proactive. So by the time they shut us down, the only thing that they taught us were facials and back treatments. So I'm like, okay, let me like make some content. Let me have some before and after pictures. So I would practice on like my family members, my neighbors, and some people at school prior to when they shut us down. So that's the content that I had. So then I'm like, okay, I don't want to just sit on what I'm learning. I want to do it. You know, I don't want to look up, graduate, and I don't have no base. I don't have nothing for people to want to come to me for. So normally, ideally, when people like develop a skill, they will build a clientele before they go get sweets, before they go work at shops and get boots and stuff. But at this point, I'm like, let me do what I want to do. Let me do it my own way. Right. Clearly, traditional means of doing shit don't work for me. Let me do it a different way. So I started looking at sweets. So mind you, I have zero clientele. I'm still in the essentials part of school. We're still doing book work and hands-on like a couple times out the week, and it's the pandemic, so so we really can't do too much or nothing. So I'm like, let me just do it anyway. So I went and found this suite, like, up north by my house at the time or whatever. And it was so ugly. It was completely ugly. And I just treated it like a blank canvas. I painted it by myself.
Oh, wow.
They had gave us like a CARES Act check or whatever to put towards like tuition and whatever we needed. I could have just paid my tuition with it, but I didn't. I went and like bought me a table, an adjustable table, like a massage table or whatever. Bought like the basics that I needed and just went from there. Mind you, zero clientele, but I just started posting the content that I did have.
Right.
I made a website for me and I just did it that way. So when June came, I fixed up the suite as best as I could. Posted my client. I started my business exactly June 21st, 2020. And my first weekend, I was completely booked. Like my first weekend, somebody drove from Madison, Wisconsin to come get a service from me. Mind you, I had very little content.
Oh, that is a testimony.
And it's not like I'm this Chicago famous girl. I'm not Chicago famous. I don't have 10K followers.
Right.
I'm not clouded up. I'm not popular. I'm lame as hell. So like to see that, I was so happy.
Right. Oh,
you know, and I just stayed consistent with it. I was like, fuck the money. Let me just stay consistent. Consistency is what's gonna help me thrive. You know what I'm saying? So I just did that and it worked for me. So my first 6 months, like by the time from June to December, I built up a great clientele. I was seeing over 50 people per month. And this is in a pandemic.
Wow, that is a blessing.
This is where like businesses are closing.
Woo.
And it's just me by myself. Like all this is just word of mouth. Not like I was just running ads with a couple dollars I did have. I was sharing my own posts. Like this is a time where like not every one of my friends was sharing my posts and stuff. Like, I didn't care. I'm like, I'm in hustle mode.
Well,
damn.
you gotta do what you gotta
and
do.
I like what I'm doing. I'm seeing the results. I want to keep seeing that. So let me just keep going. And I thrive off that. My first year, I did 100K. My first year.
You hear that? 100K.
Mind you, it's just me. It's not nobody else but me.
That is a blessing.
Like, I look back on it now, and I just be like, wow.
Girl, I need some of your money, girl. No, I see that Hermes. Y'all see that Hermes on her wrist? Okay, girl, you ain't gotta tell her that.
I just be like, that's really favor. That's really
that is, it really is.
You know, like for people you're not ever gonna lose when you bet on yourself. And you're never gonna lose when you lock in and you focus on yourself. And you just eliminate all distractions. And you just like,
you got me over here like, damn.
And you pray stuff off of you. Like you just be praying for discernment, pray for direction. And you know, like within that time where everything went bad for me, I renewed my relationship with God and just increased my faith. If I don't have shit else, I'm gonna have my faith. You know, that first year was great. Last year was great. And every day not going to be a good day. It's not like that shit's not all.
Being an entrepreneur is not every day.
It's not. It's not glitter and gills every day. Like I could make $1,000 on a Saturday. Monday come, I make 100, but I'm gonna keep going every single day because it's not about the money. I love what I do. Like I could honestly say going to esthetician school is the best thing I ever did with my life. That's the first thing I ever finished in my life. Like I'm somebody who I don't like when shit too hard. Like when she gets too hard. When she gets too hard, I'm like, what's next? Like, what's next? Okay, let's try something else. This not working for me. But again, that goes back to what I said earlier. How you gonna know what's for you if you don't try it, You know,
I'm with you on that.
And then people have this like, and then just being a business owner, being an esthetician, I just be like seeing all the shady shit people do and say, and it just makes me happy that I'm who I am today and I have this self-awareness about myself. Because if I didn't, I would be going to people's suites to beat them up. But it's like, why enough to go around.
Yeah,
You know what
I mean,
I'm
it's
saying?
true, and it's you bring up such a good point.
Say because I really believe like it's enough for everybody. And a lot of women in the beauty industry, they have this crabs in a barrel mindset. They will portray it like, oh, I want to see people win, this, that, and the third, but they really don't. And I could vouch for that because I see it happening, and I don't like what I see. Like a few years ago, before I started even getting waxed, before I started even going to European Wax Center, I didn't even know what an esthetician was.
Oh.
In 2015, I didn't even know that those things exist, and when I learned that they exist, it was all white people. This industry is not an industry for people like us